What's going on, champs and champettes? It's FireMonkey here, and Fortnite OG Chapter 1 Season 3 has officially started being teased, so in today's YouTube video, we're going to be showing you the brand new teasers and telling you what you need to know as we go into the new Fortnite season. So firstly, there hasn't really been too much that's kind of going on here. You know, we just got a new video teaser. We haven't really gotten anything that like leak stuff coming to the map or whatever, but we can kind of analyze certain things here and there and get a better understanding of what to be expecting. So earlier today, around an hour or two before I'm making this video, Fortnite tweeted the following caption of "Why crash out when you could crash in?" Back to where it all started, because OG Season 3 will be launching March 25th. And then they also supplied this video on Twitter where you can see a space astronaut skin kind of diving down as we got a meteor kind of going across the entire Fortnite island. Of course, you can see a lot of those other locations that we've seen back then, such as, you know, Tilted Towers right here, Dusty Divot, all that type of stuff. It's the normal Season 3 map from Chapter 1, so it makes sense. However, it kind of shows us, hey, wait a minute, if we're getting an astronaut themed trailer here or a teaser, that must mean we're going to be getting an astronaut remix skin for the actual battle pass, because if we go ahead and go to the locker real quickly here and type in Chapter 1 Season 3, we can see the theme we had with a lot of skins were actually related to like astronauts. As you can see, there's both the astronauts right there. We also had stuff like Elite Agent, one of the first ever Twitch Prime packs, for example, more astronaut skins you were able to actually get in the game, and we also had other skins like Rust Lord, Power Cord, you know, the Leviathan skin, etc., that you were able to kind of use during that season. Or at least this is my collection of skins that did release back then that we can kind of go based off of. However, something interesting is that on the Instagram version of the teaser, due to them being more in a vertical format, we actually got to see a better view of the skin. So if I go ahead and show this on screen right now, you can actually see that it has an interesting little design going on here, where yes, it has the astronaut helmet, but in terms of the actual body itself, the actual clothing, it looks a lot more punk aesthetic-y, right? And when we actually go ahead and compare this to some of the characters in the Fortnite already, something we can kind of think of when it comes to this skin right here is it might be something like an astronaut skin that, you know, we've actually had before. As you can see, actually, there's no real good place to put this, but, you know, like an astronaut skin, for example, that right there, you know, that we actually had the helmet and everything on, but also mixed with Rust Lord. And this wouldn't be the first time they've actually done something with Rust Lord before, because if you guys haven't been aware, they have actually redone Rust Lord a few times. We have the Rust skin right here, for example, which kind of has similar clothing. We have the normal Rust Lord skin, and did they ever do anything in Season X? I can't really remember, but we had a lot of themed goodies from Chapter 1 Season 3 that they were able to actually kind of convert and turn into their own little unique fashion senses. So it appears that one of the skins is going to be a remix of not just the astronauts, but also of Rust Lord entirely, and I wouldn't be surprised if we started seeing more remixes that are related to some of the other aspects from that season. You know, maybe we end up getting like a new Tomato Head skin, or a new version of the Triceratops and Rex skins, and you know, Raven was a big skin from back then, so maybe we end up getting a new Raven remix skin with something else, and who knows, maybe they could go ahead and do it funny, since we had kind of like the off-brand John Wick back then, you know, the Reaper, and they make a brand new John Wick skin that is actually a part of that battle pass. It could be an interesting thing they could actually do. Maybe they remix it with another one of the skins that released during that season, but it is interesting at the very least to see that they're starting to work on the new season. They're starting to hype it up and tease it with new trailers every so often, because it gives us something to look forward to, and it also allows us to speculate on what other characters they might actually be doing with this whole entire collab, right? I mean, even if we look at the characters that were released back then in Chapter 1 Season 3, we have the Lyoch set, or, you know, like Battlehound, and then the female version of Battlehound being Highland Warrior. We of course had a little bit of like the Bright Bomber stuff with Bright Gunner, but that isn't really too important in my opinion. We had one of the bunny themed skins, so, you know, we had like the Easter bunny theme stuff, and Easter actually is going to be coming up around the same time as the season as well. We had the Burnout skin right here, for example. We also had like Overclocked, which is a little bit of that like not retro, but like sci-fi themed. We even had like the Save the World founder skins, so, you know, Rose Team Leader, I do believe, was one of the founder skins. But we had a lot of stuff that they can actually take inspiration from, but not too much that makes it overly complicated, that we might end up seeing certain things here and there related to that actual time period in Fortnite, because as we've noticed when it comes to the actual OG passes, for example, if we go over here, sure, they have two cosmetics that are usually related to like an actual battle pass skin, but as we saw with Cuddle Team Leader, they usually have like one that is kind of like a normal item shop skin in battle pass forms. I wouldn't be surprised if they did try to take some inspiration from those old item shop skins in order to make the best version of the battle pass theme that they could possibly do, since of course meteors are a big part of the whole entire season, you know, with the whole Dusty Divot thing. I wouldn't be surprised if, they mix the astronauts with something like Rex and, Triceratops, since dinosaurs kind of match with the whole meteor theme, and they're kind of advertising it in-game already. So with that said, I hope you champs and champions enjoyed today's short little video. Let me know what your expectations are for the brand new Fortnite OG season. I have seen some people out there say that they're kind of disappointed because it's most likely just going to be, mostly bot lobbies anyways, but of course it is still something to be excited for because it means a new battle pass that you'll be able to progress in any mode that you actually end up playing. And honestly, based on like the most popular characters from back then, I wouldn't be surprised if we got some sort of like new power chord remix skin, whether it's in the item shop or whether it's in the actual battle pass or something. There's just a lot of ways that could actually go about it. Until next time, however, I'll catch you champs and champettes a little bit later with another upload. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, and until then, peace out.